Welcome back to my channel once again. If you're new here, consider subscribing because I feel that my goal is to bring in the most delicious thinking and enhance your intellect to escape velocity. Let's start today's day. All B.Comm guys, all BBA guys, and guys who hold 3 years of degree, this video is for you, mainly for people who are doing B.Comm and people who are doing BBA, or people who have completed their BBA and now working, and now you guys plan to study abroad, especially in Germany and France. This video is for you. So today I'm going to be talking on multiple layers. Make sure that you watch today's video till the end. Look at that sun. To be honest, you don't get to see sun every day. That's why I always point out half of the days here are always without a day without a sun. That's why. So this square, what you see, this is called as Alexanderplatz. This building right behind me is a hotel, and one of the iconic monuments, a structure I would say, not a monument, is TV Tower right here. So I thought, why not to show you where I actually work. I work not far from this place, by the way. Our office is pretty close to this place. Look at that bad boy right behind me. Alright guys, so I've reached home finally, but before I proceed from here on, I hope that you have a pen and a paper so that you can keep making notes while watching this video. It's just that when you write down, your brain picks up faster if you are really serious about going to Germany or France when it comes to business study. I may be suggesting you a few things, so here's what I'm going to talk about. So there are a few things which I'm majorly going to be talking about. One thing is, what are the documents required if you want to proceed further for your masters in post completion of your BBA or B.Comm. Then I'm going to be suggesting you guys some courses which you can do post completion of your BBA and B.Comm. And then we also going to be talking about the monster in the room, which is the placement. What about my job post completion? So before I proceed from here on, all these 3 or 4 points which I'm about to share with you guys will help you to get into top universities. When I say top universities, I'm talking about triple accredited universities. There are a total of only 89 universities in the world which are triple accredited, and out of that 62% of the universities are in France. So you can understand the level of competition which universities as well as students have from both the sides. Again, if you don't care about ranking, reputation, city, all that, then there are thousands of business schools in that way. But today I'm going to be mainly talking about if you want to get into top schools in France or Germany, make sure that you watch this video till the end. Now the first question which some of you may have, not everyone, but some of you may have who are precisely looking at Germany for studies. Like in Germany they give free education. Can I not go and study in one of the universities where they teach finance, where they teach accounting, where they teach change management, where they teach project management? You can. Okay, so here's what the story I would like to share and talk about, mainly public university. This guy who reached out to us almost 1 year back, he said like, can you guys help me with the admission into one of the public universities? I said, okay, no problem. What's your profile? He did B.Comm, and post B.Comm he worked for 3.5 years in bank sector. When he worked in bank sector, he was very strong when it comes to finances and accounting. I asked him to get 3 letter of recommendation. He scored really well when it comes to IELTS and a lot of extracurricular activity certificates. We collected all of it. We applied for him on his behalf into University of Nuremberg. There is a course for finance and he got through that. Now he is in Nuremberg. Maybe in future if I'm traveling to Nuremberg for some reason, I will show this guy in our vlog. But after that day I did realize that if you want to study in a public university, yes you can, because we were successfully able to secure a seat for him. The other question which a lot of people have is why all these top universities are private and not public university where we can go and study for free. Studying in a private university / top tier 1 universities in the world, they come with a lot of perks with you. Yes, you definitely spend a good money, but at the same time you have to understand the kind of network what you buy in by getting into all these top school. Eventually they land you in a good job. The biggest asset of any private university is their professors who teach students. They come from real industry. Why? Because if I'm the marketing manager in one of the top companies, and if I get an opportunity to go and teach students in one of the big top reputed school in the city, my resume as a professor goes high because I'm skillful, but at the same time I'm academically also strong. I know this point because I know someone who's teaching in one of the universities in Germany, finance especially. That is just one aspect, but there are many aspects like the industry connections which they have, the kind of reputation which they've built over the course of time, the kind of alumni network which they have, and then the list just goes on. Also, one of the questions which keeps repeating over and over is, hey, I'm studying B.Comm, hey, I'm studying BBA, and now I would like to do MBA. Yes, no doubt you can go ahead and do MBA, but if you want to do MBA in Europe, they would ask you to have at least 2 to 3 years of work experience. The higher the reputation of a college and the ranking, the more experience they would ask you. I know in India it is fine to do BBA and then immediately go and do MBA, but that's not how it works in Europe. Then in that case, what people normally do is they go ahead and apply for masters, which doesn't require any experience, and then immediately within the second year of masters they specialize themselves. So now I'm going to share the documents which you're supposed to prepare over the course of time if you are thinking of studying MIM, Masters in Management, or Masters in XYZ specialization. So there are a total of 8 to 9 things which you're supposed to take care of before you start your application process, and I'm keeping in mind Germany and France and these documents for you. First thing, I presume of course you guys will already have your degree in your hand when you're applying, which is B.Comm or BBA degree or B.Comm honors. It doesn't really matter when you're applying for masters. Second thing, what they would ask you for is letter of motivation, or some universities they say statement of purpose. Why do you want to do this course? How is this course going to help you to make your career? Third thing which they would ask you for is letter of recommendation, at least 2 to 3 letter of recommendation. Now how you can get it? It's through your professor. If you've done some internships, get 1 letter of recommendation from them, or in worst case scenario, if you have not done any internship, get 1 letter of recommendation from immediate professor and then 1 from principal of that university if possible. So the next thing which they would ask you to give you is IELTS, which is the English proficiency test, and in IELTS they expect you to have at least 6.5 and above. I know in some universities, I would say some, not all the top tier one, some universities are fine if you have studied in English, of course, because your medium of instruction will say all that. Next thing is college application form will be there anyways when you're filling out your application form in that college. ECA certificates, which means extracurricular activity certificates. If you have any extracurricular activity, singing, dancing, you have done a workshop, you have attended anything, go ahead and put that. It just shows that you're a bit more than what you're presenting through your grade certificates. If you have some work experience, if you have done some internships, go ahead and present that. It just adds a super strong point to your profile. Some universities in France have started asking for GMAT when it comes to MIM studies also. I've always heard that they ask for MBA. Now they have started asking for MIM also. The ideal score which is good to go ahead is 550 and above. And last thing is they would ask you for your updated resume. I hope that was very straightforward and simple. Let's move on. So there are a few courses which I would like to suggest. To be honest, there are like thousands of courses which you can actually come up with. I just made this up very quickly because I literally deal with all these kind of cases almost every day. As I said, you cannot do MBA. Then what people do is people go ahead and do MIM, which is Master in Management. Now when you go ahead and do Master in Management, whether in Germany or France, they will teach you all the basic business subjects, which is finance, accounting, project management, change management, strategy, consulting, and there's a lot of subjects which any business requires. So some people choose MIM, but there are also kind of people who would like to specialize themselves into one particular area. This is exactly a place where French universities are really famous for. They specialize you into your own area, and to be honest, you can go ahead and search as per your profile and as per what you want to do in your career. And also not to confuse MSc and MIM. Again, these are all same things. They are just calling by different names and terminologies in different universities. MSc in Finance and Accounting, Masters, which is MSc in Entrepreneurship, MSc in International Marketing and Business Development, MSc in Luxury and Innovation. France is known for luxury and fashion. Exactly, the next one is the same thing what I'm talking, which is Masters in Fashion Management, Masters in HR and Performance Management, Masters in Supply Chain Management. Again, all these things what I just shared with you, these are inquiries which we get literally almost every day, whether on my email ID or on our Facebook group. That's why I suggested you based on that. You could have a different goal in life, you could have a different vision in life, you could have a different interest in life, you could have a different profile. Also, not to forget one big thing, which is the grades. Grades do play a big role in this whole process, but there is a play around for that. We've got so many people admission, they just had like 60-70% scores in their bachelors, but there is a way, which is by writing a strong letter of motivation. And what I would suggest you, if you can't write it by yourself, then take someone's help who's good at that. Okay, and if you need any help, if you need any professional support, go ahead and write me an email. I will connect you with my team who are expert at this, literally doing it almost every day. Moving from here on and talking about something really serious and the whole point of this video, which is studying and then ultimately getting a job, right? If any consulting guy telling you that by studying in X university will actually lead you to job and in real industry, he's lying on your face, because there's no such thing called placement. In Europe precisely, there is no such thing called placement where companies come on the campus and hire students there. Here the culture is totally different. You have to find your doors. You have to work your ass off. That leads you to an internship. And from that internship, that leads you to another internship. And from that internship, it leads you to another internship. You have to keep doing multiple internships so that it builds up your profile. You have to understand you don't have a work experience in your resume and you're totally a fresher, and expecting to become a manager as soon as you completed your masters, hell no, that's not gonna happen. You will have to spend a good amount of time proving yourself what are you really good at, because that certificate which you're earning by giving exams and performing good in studies, well, that will lead one leg of yours inside the company, but then you have to prove yourself. And to get to that final full-time job, there is a lot of hassle in between. That hassle is just doing multiple internships and keep proving yourself on the way, and keep collecting the experience letter, which is the internship letter, and add that to your resume. If any of those internship companies like you, they will absorb you as a full-time employee. But don't be in that confusion that as soon as you go and do masters that you will sit directly on the position of manager. That will not happen. You have to understand, on top of you there are MBA guys sitting. When an MBA guy and an MIM guy goes out for an interview, MBA guy will apply for a manager position, whereas when you apply, you will apply for a supervisor or actually an entry-level job. Mainly people who do MIM or masters, as I explained, they always end up in a entry-level jobs. I hope that was clear enough that how much of a hard work you're supposed to do, and especially when you're completely fresher, and your willingness to learn should be so high that I can't just tell you. Don't be dependent too much on the university, because at the end of 2 years they will hand over your degree in your hand if you performed well in the exams. Outside university is the real world where you have to perform and you have to prove yourself. The money which you're investing in this whole process will help you to get to the actual job. So the last part of the video, this is where I'm going to share the cost which is going to incur to get your master's degree in France or in Germany. First thing first, the tuition fees. The tuition fees can vary from university to university. The average market rate at the moment is from 18,000 euros to 28,000 euros, depending on which university you select. Higher the reputation of the university, of course you pay more. For now, let's consider 20,000 euros for tuition fees. On the other hand side, there's a cost of living wherever you choose to stay. On an average, for a 1 year, it will cost you 8,640 euro, whether you stay in Germany or whether you stay in France. Now you can multiply 8,640 euro by 2 years, which is 16,000 euros. So if you're thinking of taking an education loan for complete tuition fees and for your stay, then the whole total cost should be somewhere between 35,000 euros to 36,000 euros. Don't get scared with this big number. Usually, if you take care of your tuition fees, which is the extremely important thing, and then you can prepare yourself for 1 year of cost of living, because this will get you admission letter, which is by paying tuition fees will get you admission letter, and this admission letter will lead you to get the student visa. Once you're here with that first year of 8,640 euro saving, you can start working here at a part-time by doing some kind of job which will prepare you for year 2 so that you don't run out of money. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is, if you have any confusion, feel free to reach out to us via email. Okay, I'm very active via email than all other social medias, because when you write me an email with all your bullet points, with what's your profile, these are my documents, it helps me to get some kind of structure. It helps us to communicate with you. If required, we also call people, by the way. So feel free, don't hesitate, write a good email. I'm willing to spend my time into your profile. Alright, on this note, I would like to say goodbye, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.